elbow inflammation from Ken Giles. That was not self-punching related this time, right?
He did not punch himself, as far as I know.
Okay.
Is the other thing, but it does open up a closer spot, and I know a lot of people are writing that Biagini's the guy, but I've speculated on Daniel Hudson. It's one of those two guys. If you're hungry for saves, there's saves out there.
And Hudson picked up the first one, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
But it was like an inning. It was like a 1.1 inning save. So some are thinking like he's the better pitcher, so they want him in the eighth. I don't know exactly how it'll play out, but it's a watch situation.
All right. More injuries here. Jose Urena with herniated disc. Kevin Gossman with plantar fasciitis. Adam Wainwright with a mild left hamstring strain. And Jordan Lyles with a hamstring looks like a minimum stay on the IL.
Yeah, Jordan Lyles has been surprisingly the best of this bunch, and he's going to be the minimum stay. Urena is a strange one because he basically went straight to the 60-day. I mean, they technically put him to the 10 for a day and a half, and then they put him to the 60. So he'll be out for a while. Gaussman with plantar fasciitis, that could be something that lingers all season long.
And word is for Jose Urena that the first get well card will be sent to him by Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah. Because there's a brotherhood in the game. They all love each other.
All right, Kendry Morales also hit the IL with a left calf strain. Alex Avila with a left calf strain as well, and Robinson Cano on Sunday with the left quad tightness.
Cano was only back for 4 days, and he went back. He missed the IL so much he went right back to it. The Avila's on here. I generally don't put a lot of catchers or relievers on there, but I've been fairly impressed with what I've seen Carson Kelly do at the plate and especially behind the plate. And if you're in a deeper league or two-catcher league, Carson Kelly's going to get a lot more playing time, and so that's a guy that might have some value.
And Kelly was a pretty high prospect.
He was,
wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a high prospect. He was. At one point they had as catchers they had Luke Voigt, they had Carson Kelly, and then they picked up Andrew Knitzer. So they had and then they have the most durable guy in the world, Yadier Molina, on the high level. So they made some moves. They moved Kelly to get Paul Goldschmidt.
That's right. No. All right, a few more injuries here. Christian Arroyo with right forearm tendonitis, Grayson Greiner with lower back strain, and John Duplantier with a right shoulder injury.
Greiner, the catcher's on here because it does open up time for John Hicks, who's shown in short bursts that he can be a pretty valuable catching commodity for fantasy. I never know where to put these, but it's kind of a transition. Jose Alvarado's on administration leave. The good news is he didn't punch any women. The bad news is that he went home on a bereavement leave and he didn't come back. He should be back within 5 or 6 days, but he's part of the Rays save committee.
Yeah, I thought I read something that said maybe Monday or Tuesday, but who knows? It's been so long already.
Yeah.
We had a few guys miss games this week. Jason Kipnis was out Wednesday and Thursday and returned Friday. Yon Moncada has missed Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with a back strain. Tommy LaStella was out Friday with left forearm tightness. Steven Piscotty was out Friday with an ear melanoma surgery. And Edwin Encarnacion was out Thursday and Friday with a back strain.
Most of these guys are day-to-day. I'm actually surprised Piscotty didn't go on the IL. I mean, it is outpatient surgery, and it's topical. It's like they didn't have to go inside. A melanoma's on the skin. But he's probably going to take 5 days of recovery, so an IL stint for him wouldn't be shocking because he's already missed a game, It's amazing that the one that hurts the most in this is Tommy LaStella. Amazing things he's doing out there in California nowadays.
Last night we had a couple big ones, too. Vlad Guerrero Jr. got hit in the hand and left the game in the first. Trevor Story was hit in the head with a bad hop in the 8th inning and left the game as well.
Yeah, it's not like a Friday night where you see that the only 2 guys that get removed are guys that are on my team. But Trevor Story got hit in the head. They said that he didn't get a concussion, but it was precautionary. But maybe they skip him a game or 2 just to give him a little rest. Vlad Guerrero they took in for X-rays. X-rays were negative, but just the same, he might miss a game or 2. I also, way down on the farm, there's a couple injuries. Casey Mize, came up with a shoulder injury, whatever. They did the MRI, and it's only inflammation. They even had Dr. James Edwards look at it. It's only inflammation, so I guess that's good news. And another guy that a lot of people are looking at in the minors is Brian Hayes. but there's somebody that might be called up to have an impact. He's on the 10-day minor league DL with a dislocated finger, so both those guys are going to be pushed back a bit.
All right, some guys who made it back to action this week: J.P. Crawford, Joey Wendell, Brian Johnson, Buster Posey, Yadier Molina, D. Gordon, and Matt Stram.
Welcome back, all those guys. I think the forgotten guy in there is Joey Wendell because he was really good last year. He was actually somebody that should have gotten votes for Rookie of the Year based on his all-around play, his batting average, stealing a few bases. But he had a really bad start, then he went on the injured reserve. Welcome him back. Buster Posey and Yadier Molina, two of the great catchers of all time, are coming back too. Came back. Sorry, past tense.
All right, a couple pitchers that look like they're gonna make it back Monday: Mike Clevenger and Julius Chassin.
Yeah, those are the two that I got specific reports that said that they were coming back. Clevenger is probably jumps right into like being one of the top 3 pitchers in the game. Welcome back, Clev.
All right, now it's time for the rehabs. We got Aaron Judge at Scranton, along with teammate Giancarlo Stanton.
Stanton was hitting pretty good at Tampa, and they moved him up to Scranton. Both those guys are expected to be back this week.
The scariest 1-2 hitting combination in baseball. You can find it in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Good for Scranton, Wilkes-Barre.
Well, yeah, wouldn't that be fun if you had season tickets to the Scranton team?
I'm a guy that goes. I pay because minor league teams are closer than anything else. Like what gets me out to minor league games is when stars play at them. That's why I'm kind of sad that all our teams are Braves right now. We only get one team. But yeah, if you lived in the greater Scranton Wilkes-Barre area and you had a little free time and $8, wouldn't you go see that game? As much as even I dislike the Yankees, it'd still be cool.
Absolutely. Some more rehabs. We have Colin McHugh pitched Friday night in AAA Round Rock. Trevor Williams felt good in a rehab in Indianapolis, and possible midweek return. Jordan Zimmerman is in Toledo. Felix Hernandez left a rehab start after 31 pitches.
Yeah, he said he was just tired. There's a fair amount of bad news this week in the rehabs, but I don't think anyone's really expecting a lot about Felix Hernandez. But Felix Hernandez will and always is and will always be the king, and he's somebody that we all care about. I'd like him to get better and be somewhat relevant.
I can understand fatigue. Trying to carry a franchise for the best part of a decade will tucker you out.
Yeah, that is the thing.
That's right.
That is tough.
All right, Steve Pearce is playing in Single A. Willie Calhoun started in Nashville on Thursday. Jameer Candelario is playing in Toledo, not in the field yet. Franchi Cordero injured his leg in rehab. Looks like that'll be a setback.
That's a setback. Yeah, he was down for a hammy. Now he has a leg problem. There's a few of these.
Brandon Nimmo is with Syracuse, but he was scratched Friday.
He's been hitless so far in the minors, and the problem here is that the scratch was for the sore neck, and that's what he was down for, so that's probably longer than you think.
Okay. Mark Trumbo was shut down for 7 days, had a PRP injection in the knee. Possibly he might even retire.
Yeah, they actually brought up the retirement word, so there's a chance of that. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's still got some game in him, but that's the first time he said the word retire.
Doug, I'm not sure if you saw the movie, but if you did, let me know. Was Bryan Cranston any good as Mark Trumbo?
Bryan Cranston is a genius in everything. He's got like 2 Emmy Awards. He's got a couple Tonys. He's the man. He was great as Jerry the dentist on Seinfeld. How do you not like that? I'm sure he was wonderful as Trumbo, but I didn't see that movie. I know vaguely what it's about, and I probably should have, but I didn't.
Okay. Last few rehabs here. We have Joey Gallo, possibly Monday, starting the rehab. Jose Altuve was cleared for rehab on Friday with Round Rock, and I guess went 0 for 4. And then we have George Springer, I guess, is not quite ready for rehab.
Yeah, those two, Altuve and Springer, generally are tied when you see like the updates, and Springer is not as close. But Altuve should be up by the end of the week, hopefully. We can just hope.
I've got my fingers crossed on that one. I've got quite a bit of stock in Altuve.
I understand that.
Call-ups this week: Yordan Alvarez for Houston, Yadiel Rivera for Miami, Brad Miller for Philadelphia, Jordan Yamamoto for Miami. Oh, this one's rough. Odriz Samir Despaigne for the White Sox, and Lucas Duda for Kansas City.
Everybody's going to talk about Yordan Alvarez. That guy can hit the ball. He's playing DH for the Astros. I put Yadiel Rivera on there because he's actually not a prospect. But every time I see that name, I'm thinking that's a name I should know. It's like it's a combination of a lot of other people's prospects make up the name Yadiel Rivera. You know what I'm saying? Like you could fake somebody out. If you want to right now go trade Yadiel Rivera, and the other name, they would probably think it's something important. Duda's back, Despaigne back. The other one that I make mention of is Jordan Yamamoto. And the reason for this is because I really, really, really wanted to do a Pearl Harbor joke. And I've been talked out of it because it's really good. They said it's in bad taste. I was hoping that he'd come up and pitch. And because Admiral Yamamoto is known for two things. One is for plotting Pearl Harbor, and the other one is that he's the first person that we know as Americans that our government targeted for assassination and killed him. That's kind of cool. So I was hoping that he'd go to play St. Louis, get beat up, and then I could say that we killed Yamamoto, at least because that side of the joke is not as offensive. But I'm amazed how many people are just not talking about this. This would be as offensive. Well, no, not as offensive. This would be as interesting as if in 20 years we were talking about now starting at first base for the Cardinals, Parker Bin Laden. It's like it's just a bad name to have. Anyway, we learned something. If you didn't know who Yamamoto was, there was that. He was the Pearl Harbor mastermind.
I didn't know that one. That's a history lesson for me there.
Learn something. I did all right. Read it right. Nothing too offensive there.
No, that was tasteful.
Shoot.
I like how you're trying to refer to me as if I'm the arbiter of taste.
when it was the three of us here, it's like I'm the ego, Bill's the super ego, and I'm the id. He's the ego. Well, whatever it is, you're the guy that Well, that our moral compass.
Oh, then we're beyond hope. Then.
Yeah, we're not in good shape, but for America, we're okay.
Recalls this week, we have Cole Irvin, pitcher for the Phillies, Mitch Keller, pitcher for Pittsburgh, Genesis Cabrera made it back up with St. Louis, Justin Bour with the Angels, Daniel Ponce de Leon also with St. Louis, Nick Tropiano with the Angels, AJ Minter with the Braves, and Jorge Bonifacio with Kansas City.
Yeah, people were wondering in Kansas City what was going to go on with O'Hearn and Dozier getting back. They made a big statement. They sent down. Well, we didn't get to that yet, but they sent down. They brought up Bonifacio. The winners are in Kansas City are Chesler Cuthbert and Jorge Bonifacio. Mitch Keller, who's that really top prospect in Pittsburgh, is up for a while this time. He's worth going after.
Well, you mentioned the send down, so here they are. We had Chris Paddock went down, Ryan O'Hearn, Kelvin Gutierrez, Shed Long, Andrew Knizer, Sam Travis, and Nicky Delmonico was released by the White Sox.
Yeah, Nick Delmonico was a halfway decent ball player out there. I mean, not a great player, but in that, it's the White Sox. They don't have a ton out there. The Paddock thing comes as a shock to most people, but he wasn't pitching as well as he was at the start of the inning. He was pitching perfectly fine, though. I think that they knew that they have to cut his innings somewhere. Had they not sent him down, his next start would have been, after having a couple of 3 and 4 run starts in a row, his next start would have been in Colorado. They're like, this is a good time for us to send him down. Keep his head in the right spot because that guy is a stud, and a stud to be.
Well, I remember Nicky Delmonico getting a game-winning hit against the Red Sox earlier this season. I thought, that'll make him a name. But, dude, everyone's gotten a game-winning hit against the Red Sox this year. I remember Doug getting a game-winning hit against the Red Sox last month.
Yeah, I bunted against the shift.
I just want to point out, Doug, on my very first podcast experience with you on the Fisticuff show, You and Dan were